The following program may contain subject matter and language suitable for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Lou, we'll run through the rudimentaries. That's the camera there. Okay? And so that's what we want to be looking at.
Shut up.
Sorry, buddy.
That's no problem.
There we go. Now we're nice and pretty. I'm going to clean my glasses because they're dirty.
Yeah. Well, do we have sound? We have sound before we settle in.
You know what I find interesting about cameras is the perspective thing. Like, I'm sitting next to you guys, but I look like I'm a midget. I don't really understand that.
Well, you're a bit midgetish. You know, they're you know.
I used to watch Midget Tish dance at the Silver Dollar. Come on. That's gold.
Yeah. It's something. Okay.
Yeah, you can't say that word anymore. Tish.
Here we go. The shit show known as The Meltdown Season 4, Episode 10. Mark it.
Oh, hello.
And welcome back to the finale episode of Season 4. I'm Norm.
I'm Lou.
And I am Jeff.
And we are your tri-hosts for this episode.
That's not a word.
It's not a word, I just made it up. We're tri-hosts, which means that the Trinity, the Holy Trinity is right here.
I think that was the name of one of the
Norm,
Aliens films.
Lou, and Jeff. And so we are going to have fun today.
Yeah.
Basically, we're going to be talking movies, TVs, and TVs. So your favorite movies, your favorite TVs.
I had an Electrolux.
Samsung. Is it? Yeah, exactly.
The Electrolux was a good TV.
TV shows is what I meant, and of course cartoons and animation. Who has a favorite movie or movie quote? Let's start there.
No one.
You don't have one? Okay.
No, I have
Moving
tons,
on.
actually.
But what's your favorite?
One that jumps out, not necessarily my
Jeff,
favorite.
you go first.
Okay. Shot in the Dark, Peter Sellers.
Sorry, are you taking a shot in the dark?
Yes, I'm taking a shot in the dark with the film A Shot in the Dark.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where Peter Sellers says to the George Sanders character, "So I submit, monsieur, you came home on an early flight, found the chauffeur in bed with Maria Gambrelli and killed him in a renta fellas cage." That's hilarious.
That is funny. See, the issue is there's too many for me because it always breaks down to either Scorsese,
Okay.
right? Because the Pesci clown bit is just genius, or a Coen Brothers movie, right? Like there's so many quotable things in something like Raising Arizona, for example.
Yeah,
and
great
just
movie.
the notion that a piece of a film will work its way into the common culture or whatever is pretty remarkable, I think.
Yeah.
You mentioned Coen Brothers, Raising Arizona, Holly Hunter's line, "My fiance left me." I love that line. My fiance, not my fiance, but my fiance left me.
Yeah.
You know,
And she's so great, man.
she's wonderful in that movie. Yeah. Or what's her name? Frances McDormand. You gotta get his dip tack. You gotta get his dip tack. You know what I mean? Frances McDormand is hilarious.
That was genius.
Those two. Who's the actor that plays her husband? He's got a small sperm count. Like that whole scene with the
Nick
picnic.
Cage.
Yeah.
It's Nick Cage.
No, Nick Cage plays Holly Hunter's husband.
Oh, sorry.
But
Right.
The actor who plays Frances McDormand's husband, who can give Nick Cage's character a promotion at work or something like that, and he keeps talking about low sperm count. Or you go like Casablanca, one of my favorite movies, and of course all the lines that are famous from that movie. The funniest line in that movie is when they have to close down because the Nazis are there, and they
Nazis do that though.
Nazis are evil.
Clotheslines.
They will, man. They dampen a room like you would not believe.
Well, they're dampening this room. They're evil and they're taking over. And then the prefect of police, played by Claude Rains, has to come up with an excuse. "Oh, I'm shocked, dear. There's gambling going on in this establishment." "Oh, you're winning, sir. Oh, thank you very much." He's such a hypocrite.
Yeah.
I love Casablanca mainly because of the funny lines. There's some great, hilarious lines in there. But and of course you mentioned Scorsese, Goodfellas, obviously.
Yeah, there's way too many.
What about Fargo? I'm going to throw that out.
Fargo.
Who likes Fargo?
Yeah, unbelievable film.
The timing, the pacing of that movie, everything about it. Was
But that's
just,
very Coen Brothers. I mean, even back as far as Blood Simple, right? Like it was you could tell watching even that early on, these guys have a very distinct, like, Barton Fink is one of my all-time favorite films, and it is there's a scene in Barton Fink where he gets to LA, they get to the hotel, walks into this beautiful ornate hotel, and there's so much dust that, like, you can see it in the sunlight, right?
Okay.
Walks up to the counter, there's a bell, nobody behind the counter, hits the bell, and it goes ping. And you hear somebody climbing up steps. You hear a trap door open. It's still ping.
It's still
he walks over to it, and then the guy who climbed up the steps puts his finger on it to stop it.
Oh my God!
It is 20 seconds of the most genius, weird, you know. And I mean, the cast they have always. Dan Goodman is an unbelievable actor. I don't think anybody.
John Goodman?
John Goodman.
So yeah.
You know, like watching Roseanne, I never would have given him those kinds of acting
in these
chops.
other movies, though, he's got some really.
Oh my God,
he's incredibly talented.
He really is.
Now here's a kind of a schlocky movie, Cloverfield. The first one came out. The first one came out. It was one of those handheld alien landing movies, right? Okay, but then years later, there's the sequel with John Goodman in it. And it's kind of an extension. It's like, I guess, somebody who's running from whatever was happening outside ends up getting in a car accident, and they get taken into this underground bunker. And it's John Goodman, and half the time you don't know if he's insane and he's
right on the money,
kidnapped, or he's holding her there to protect her.
That's interesting.
But the way he plays every scene, it's like a ping pong match. You don't know, and he's so good at emoting the innocent, I'm just here to help you, and the creepy, I'm here to kill you.
Yeah, but he's
so good.
Yeah, he's an interesting actor, and I think, you know, it's funny. There's that trope about comedic actors being really good at drama because they understand the flip side, right? They get the motivation.
The flip side. They understand the flip side. Not the flip side. They understand the flip side. It's like, we need to get some more propane. Because we cannot barbecue you without more propane. Hey, Lou?
Oh, yes.
Really good.
Flip side.
What a tirade.
Why would you want me to agree with that? You're looking at me like right, Lou? Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Like, I've done that. Like, we've had that experience. Yeah. Where you and I went to get out there and I was like, where's the propane?
Yeah, where's the propane?
Also,
the trip to France you two took together.
Oh, we destroy that country. I swear, if we went to France, we'd just butcher.
Oh my God.
Where's your Jerry Lewis now?
Norman propane.
You know what, man? I got to tell you, I don't understand France.
All right, let's move on to TV shows because we you know, I know the show's going to be probably like 3 hours, but TV shows.
And you must watch all 3 hours.
And you mustn't please.
Stare into my eyes.
We've embedded this video into your computer so that it won't stop.
You'll all be hypnotized.
Sorry?
One of the greatest shows of all time.
Well, I'll be the judge
all
of that.
time is MASH, and one of my absolute favorites. Some of the writing was phenomenal. The acting was phenomenal. The storylines, the way that they incorporated, you know, the hell of surgery with, you know, the comedy of you had to let the pressure out somehow, right? Like you had to have fun and
well, and
like
again, a great cast, right? Alan Alda is is one of the most consistently underrated actors, I think, working.
Why is that? And he's even
because it just happens to some guys, right? Like there are some guys that get, you know, it's funny. I watched the Bruce Willis thing. Just kind of a quick aside here.
Okay.
And they had Ed Norton talking because I guess they've been friends. And, you know, his shtick was, you know, Bruce Willis phones in performances and you know, makes $1 billion. And I really take time looking at these scripts and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So it was like he was complimenting Bruce Willis by complimenting himself. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Well, Alan Alda.
Yes,
it's interesting because I believe he was one of the I think he was the last one of the 6 original members to actually get cast in the show.
Wow.
And he didn't, at the time.
Original members of what?
Like the
original MASH,
TV
you
show.
know, like the six regulars, the 6 initial regulars. So Alan Alda, Wayne Rogers, McLean Stevenson, you know, not Jamie Farr.
Stevenson, man.
Yeah,
he's one of my favorites. Yeah,
one episode always. I mean, a lot of this from the early days of MASH step out, but the when they want to get the incubator.
One of my favorite episodes is the one where I guess that they're writing the sergeant's exam. So Rizzo is writing, and, you know, Jamie Farr is writing, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah.
And so the first guy comes in, and he's a guy that you've seen in the episodes before, and has lines every once in a while. I forget the actor's name.
Was it
Igor?
It was
Igor.
Igor the cook. Yeah.
And they ask him a question. He's like, "I was told there was no math." I'm like, it's the greatest answer I've ever heard to
That's
any
the
of that.
Soldier of the Month contest episode.
That's what it was.
From season 4. Season 4, which they lost Wayne Rogers.
Okay, Jeff, this is not animation. Keep
No, did they? Because they killed off McLean Scenes. Did they kill off Wayne Rogers as well?
No, he wasn't. He
No,
wasn't.
he went
back?
home.
He went home.
And Hawkeye just missed him, and that's when
that's
DJ
right.
came in.
That's right.
But I remember.
Who I quite liked as well, actually.
Oh, yeah, he was good. And Charles even. I didn't like Charles at first, but the more I see
I
him.
love Charles.
But I didn't at first, though. I just thought, nah, whatever.
It's a pretty common comedy trope, right? You grab people who don't get along and you put them in one scene, right?
Yeah.
Like it's pretty smart. And he developed a real humanity, I find. Like the way that Nelson Riley played him. Not Nelson Riley.
David Ogden Steers.
I wasn't even close.
Who's Nelson Riley?
Wow.
Charles Nelson Riley.
Charles Nelson Riley for some reason.
Yeah.
Folks, I might be having a stroke. I'd like you to dial 9-1 preemptively.
Okay, but let's get off MASH. What other TV shows are your favorites? What TV show?
Define favorites, though.
Oh, I mean, okay, how
Like
I
groundbreaking,
feel. How
or
I feel like MASH. I mean, there's All in the
Get
Family.
Smart.
Get Smart.
Wow,
Get Smart
that's interesting.
Yeah, actually, we were off camera. We were talking about Seinfeld and how Seinfeld sort of veered away from. This is about the stand-up comedian and how Jerry Seinfeld wanted to be. Where does a comedian get his jokes?
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff that Don Adams did as Maxwell Smart were actually from his comedy act. He was a stand-up comic as well, like the Would You Believe and that type of thing. So they incorporated a lot of his stand-up routines into the show, and when stand-up comics can do that, can take their material from their stand-up and put it into a TV show.
And that's why we talked about it with Seinfeld, is because it generally the way it goes. You know, we were talking about Ray Romano. You know, when you've got comics who have a show, generally you're pulling from their lives for the bits.
Yeah.
Whereas with Seinfeld, it started that way, then very quickly became four of the most unlikable characters. What's going on with Norm right now?
I don't know.
Get Smart. Does
he inhale helium? And I didn't.
There's two things that I always. When he's kneeling down on the ground, there's like a chaos agent or something, and he's trying to get information from. And the chaos agent's like, just give her like this, and he whispers in Don Adams' ear, and someone says, "What did he say, Max?" He goes, "Take your knee off my chest."
It's not this vital spy information. It's just kick your knee off my chest.
The guy can't breathe. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick loo. No, a quick look.
Can I tell you?
Hang on.
All right.
A quick look at some of Lou's meltdown minutes.
Can I tell you how much I love that the short form of my name also means toilet? Can I tell you? Because living with the burden of Luigi was enough. Right? Showing up at high school lunch with a candelabra and a charcuterie plate. People are eating PB&J and Cheetos.
We all have a bear to cross, right?
I'm like, I'm starting with a nice prosciutto and a bocconcini. Got a lovely garden salad.
So here we go.
And you're like, hey, put my house out, it's on fire. And then they go, you're telling me it's on fire, but I'd like to see some proof. If I didn't say please and thanks, this is how bad it was. My mom's shoe would materialize out of thin air and crack me in the back of the head. If your god is a lizard, you might want to look into it a little more. Right around the turn of the century, one of my people, I've never been prouder, tried to sell a bridge he clearly didn't own to a bunch of other immigrants. And it worked. I bought an app for my phone. All it does is pretend to be a lighter. That's it. I paid $1 for it. I didn't even think about it. If you're having a conversation with an owl in a graduation camp, someone has slipped you mescaline, my friend, you need to rethink your day. It's illegal to drag a dead horse down the street in Toronto. I don't understand that was an issue, apparently. At some point, it was okay to get a virgin and throw her into a volcano to sacrifice her to the volcano god. It's probably good that we moved past that, is what I'm saying, right? That guy's head is not shaped right. That's not right.
And now for some meltdown stupidness. For our stupidness today, we're not going to insinuate that Jeff is stupid. I think what we're trying to say, we're going to say that Lou and I are stupid because...
Why does it got to be that? Why does it got to be anybody who's stupid?
Because it's called stupidness and we have to justify
you can't
it
change
somehow.
Segment
No, I can't. I cannot change it.
It's too late.
It's
gone to print.
It's embedded.
It's gone to print.
Contracts have been signed.
Before we're done, the show's already going to be on the air.
That's weird.
So we're stupid, Lou and I, for thinking that we can stump Jeff on Warner Brothers animation trivia, because Jeff, I think you have a reputation in Ottawa, not aside from the other one, that you actually know an awful lot about Warner Brothers animation.
It's my good reputation.
Yeah, it's your good reputation. So I have assembled.
I just love that there's a room somewhere. They're like, Jeff, is it the Warner Brothers guy?
Yeah. It's the guy that also did. Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah,
all right.
Because Jeff is a great guy. I mean,
he is a great guy.
Just ask him. But obviously, I'm kidding. He's not like that.
So the premise here is we're going to ask him stuff about Warner Brothers cartoons, and he's going to answer them.
I've got 25 questions.
25.
I've got 25 questions, and Lou, I'd like you to mentally keep score.
Okay.
All right. Because can we just have let's just have a score counter put on the screen? Thank you. And so the people at home will know, but I won't, because I'm not going to remember.
Okay.
So you keep I think I'm going to ask him some very specific questions, and we're probably going to get a lot more detail than we bargained for.
Which is why I said 25.
Because I know, but you know what? If we have to, we'll cut some out. But I don't think we'll have.
Like real shows do 5.
If I have to cut out everything up to this point, we're keeping this. All right. Are you ready to start?
I am ready.
Are you ready to start?
All right. We've got our counter on screen. Okay. So, Jeff, here's the first question. Which character was introduced to the public first? Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd, Sylvester J. Pussycat, or Daffy Duck?
Daffy Duck. In 1937, Porky's Duck Hunt. Tex Avery directed it.
It's already making me uncomfortable.
Okay. As a second question...
wait a minute.
What?
Jay?
Yeah.
What's his middle name?
I don't know, but it was either
Sylvester J. Cat. I think that was some of the things about some of the facts were made up well after the studio closed. So I think that's one of the things. Like Wile E. Coyote's name, I can't remember. But
Wile E. Coyote makes sense. Yeah. Sylvester J. Cat.
Yeah, I think that's been added.
Others.
And
also, who sits in a room and is like, I like the cat, but we need to give him a middle initial.
Yeah. The answer to stuff that I have here is that Daffy first appeared in 1937, while Bugs didn't debut until
1940.
Correct. Sylvester didn't come along until
1945.
Yes, correct.
It's going to freak me out.
And Daffy's first role was in Porky's Duck Hunt.
1937.
What are you, Rain Man? What is happening over here?
He's Rain Man, so that's one correct for Jeff.
Freaking me out.
17 matches.
All right. Second question, Jeffrey.
That was only the first one.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Foghorn Leghorn, the bombastic know-it-all rooster, delighted in bedeviling the barnyard dog named what? Harry the Hound, Rover, Billy the Basset, or George P. Dog?
Oh, I know this one.
George P. Dog would be incorrect, because it was actually Marmaduke, and that's a name that came along much later. George P. Dog was actually given a name given to one of the Goofy Gophers cartoons around 1951. So none of those names would actually apply to the barnyard dog, who was referred to as the barnyard dog.
He's speaking English, but I don't understand.
Well, actually, it says the correct answer is George P. Dog.
So much information.
No, George P. Dog.
So this is wrong.
George P. Dog appeared.
So who was it?
None of those names apply.
Who? So actually, what was the name of the dog?
Actually, the barnyard dog was how he was referred to while the studio.
So is it not the same dog as the one when it's the sheepdog?
No, that's a different character. That's
you know when they got the punch clock? That's one of my favorite episodes.
That's a different one.
Yeah. Okay. So the barnyard dog eventually was known as Mandrake. But he was actually, while the studio was in operation, he was referred to as Barnyard Dog. The problem is some of these characters have been given names after the studio closed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're giving that one to you then, and because I did talk to Jeff before we shot, and I said, my sources, I don't know if some of them are going to be. Yeah.
There is a character named George P. Dog that does appear in a Goofy Gophers. Goofy Gophers was a name that appeared later as well for the two polite gophers. So there is a character that exists, but those are two separate dogs.
Okay, all right. Let's move on to the next one.
Lord,
let's move on to the next one.
What other show would you hear the sentence? Those are two separate dogs.
I wouldn't. I don't.
That's on the totally
different. I don't think so. Okay, next question. Which of the following characters would not be considered an antagonist of the star of at least one Warner Brothers cartoon?
Okay.
Black Jack Shellac, the Shropshire Slasher, Nasty Canasta, or Miss Prissy?
Miss Prissy.
Okay.
Yes.
Really?
Miss Prissy, voiced mainly by B. Benaderet, but also once by Mel Blanc.
Mm-hmm. No, wait a minute. I'm confused. You're not asking which one is not a character.
No, which one is not an antagonist,
Not an
too?
antagonist.
So it says here, Miss Prissy's lone fault was being in love being love struck for Foghorn Leghorn, whereas Black Jack Shellac was Bugs Bunny's foe in Wet Hair.
21, I win.
Nasty Canasta came afoul of
card.
Sheriff Daffy and Drip Along Daffy, and the Shropshire Slasher was the guilty party in Daffy's.
Deduce, you say?
It says Dorlock.
I don't think I remember
Yeah,
that.
Dorlock. He played Dorlock Holmes in a cartoon called Deduce, you say?
Holmes.
Directed by Chuck Jones from 1956.
Oh, that's great.
All right.
And Old Miss Prissy, I believe, also at one time was voiced by June Foray.
Yes!
Who was modeled off of the foil from the Marx Brothers cartoon.
Wow.
You know the woman who was always in the Marx Brothers cartoon?
The foil.
Oh, you
She
mean
was the straight man, basically.
Margaret, what was her last name?
Not Atwood.
No, that's...
All right, let's move on to the next question while you guys figure this out. Warner's version of the Three Bears came along in 1944. The family consisted of Henry Bear, Mama Bear, and Junior.
Yeah.
What was remarkable about Junior? Was it that he talked too much, he was super smart, although still in diapers he was huge, or he was always hungry?
Actually, all four of those things were characteristics of Junior Bear. Voiced by Stan Freberg, by the way.
But what was the remarkable thing is the question.
That he was still in diapers?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, I'm going to give you that one too.
Okay, and actually, interestingly, even though Mel Blanc did the voice of Papa Bear in the first one, after that it was taken over by Billy Bletcher, and B. Benaderet did the voice of the Mother Bear.
Okay, next question. Mr. Wise ass. Mel Blanc provided most of the voice work for the Warner cartoon unit, but who supplied the female voices when required, such as Granny and Witch Hazel? Was it June Foray, Grace Bradley, Verna Felton, or Bertha Morisot?
June Foray, but also B. Benaderet, who's not in that list.
That's correct, yeah. But I think out of the
those four, June Foray would be
Foray.
correct.
I said Foray. Okay.
June Foray, who sadly passed on only about a year ago.
Yeah, and she apparently succeeded B. Benaderet as well.
She did indeed.
Yeah. All right, next question. Appearing at what he believed was the Axe Handle estate to investigate a murder in The Super Snooper, Dutch Drake, or Daffy Duck, refers to the female living in the house by what term? Oh my God, are we going to stop, Jeff?
I know the cartoon you're talking about. It's directed by Robert McKimson, and it's from like 1954, I believe.
1952.
Well, at one point he said 1952. Oh, I was off on that one. At one point he says, "You evil woman, you," and then she says, "You cutie pie, you." And she says, "I bet he'd look cute in a bathing suit."
What is wrong with you?
You know quite a bit.
But I don't know. He refers to her as something else in that cartoon as well, and it escapes me at the moment.
Unaware that he is at the wrong house accusing the wrong person of murder, Dutch Drake interrogates a woman only known as the Body.
The Body, exactly.
Okay, so
Everyone knows the answer after we've told you.
after, right. So there you go. Okay. So that's one. Wow, I didn't think we'd stump you at all.
So it's 5-1 though.
It's unfortunate because all of the questions would have netted you a new car. So
that's okay. I already got a car.
That's good. But this one was new.
I was able to give you other.
I just stole this one this morning. All right, next question. Sylvester J. Pussycat Sr., also known as Sylvester the Cat, Sylvester or Putty Tat, was created by Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies. Which 1945 cartoon did Sylvester first appear in?
Life with Feathers.
Wow. Okay.
That's
Life with Feathers.
I know where to
and what year do we know? Do you know? Oh, I said 1945
it was
cartoon.
45.
Never mind. And who just what the hell? Who created
Tweety?
No, who created that? Who made that film? That Life with Feathers.
Fritz Freeling directed it.
And anyone else?
They misspelled Freeling though.
Actually, Michael Maltese probably wrote it.
Okay, and Bob Clampett's name is in there as well.
And Michael Maltese.
Bob Clampett didn't have anything to do with the original Sylvester cartoon. Bob Clampett had something to do with the original Tweety and Sylvester cartoon.
Okay.
He had started work on it. That's a whole other story, though.
Okay. This one we might stump you with as well. Maybe not. I could be totally wrong. But who was the first ever Looney Tunes?
Oh, that's cool.
Bosco.
Okay. You got that one right as too. Bosco. Bosco was the first ever major Looney Tune character. His first film was called?
It's not Out of the Inkwell. It was...
You're close.
Yeah, you're
The Talk... Bosco?
Bosco the Talking Kid.
Right.
Okay, we need to talk to our research
And
department.
what day and year was it shown on?
I think it debuted in 1931. I don't know.
Oh, okay. A little bit off. It was the 19th of April, Jeff. 1929. Can't believe you didn't get that right.
I'd have to...
Dummy.
Some of the filmographies I have here, actually. Right here.
Oh, for the love of God, he's serious.
He's got a book of everything.
That is remarkable.
My grandparents gave me this.
That's really cool, dude. I'm not comfortable with that cartoon.
See, 1930, but see the general. I'll give you that one because these dates are kind of general. So 1929. I'll say that's correct.
All right. And just so you know, Jeff has not been peeking at the book. It's been closed the whole time.
Maybe it's been closed the whole
So
time.
this is all coming from his sick
You can
head.
test me in real life if you see me in a bar or coffee shop.
Okay. Next question. What was the name of the Looney Tunes short in which Marvin first appeared?
Haredevil Hair, 1948, Chuck Jones.
Jeez Louise.
Okie doke.
Crazy.
Next question. All of these Bugs cartoons debuted in 1942 with the exception of one. Which one did not premiere until 10 years later? Was it The Harebrained Hypnotist, Case of the Missing Hair, The Wabbit Who Came to Supper, or 14 Karat Rabbit?
14 Karat Rabbit.
Which is the one where Bugs is kidnapped? They do. I don't know if these are the same episodes, but he gets bonked on the head and he's like, wait. He's frozen in that same.
Well, he gets kidnapped by Rocky and Muggsy and Bugs and Thugs.
But there's another way he gets.
Was that the turn it
Maybe
on
it's-
the radio?
Or is it the one with the.
Turn it
off the radio.
Yeah, then turn it off the radio.
Oh my God. I love that.
I love that too.
Okay, boy.
So great.
All right, next question. In the Duck Dodgers episode Canine Quarry, what Looney Tune plays the alien bounty hunter?
Okay, see, this is after the studio closed. It's one of the newer ones, the Duck Dodgers episode.
Oh, right. Okay. So
By the way, I'm not a snob. I think that's great that they're still doing these cartoons. Some people are like, oh, these newer Warner Brothers cartoons are stupid. Well, no. Hey, I'm glad they're still making them. That one I don't know the answer to, though.
Okay, so that's a new one. We'll strike that one. Here's another one. Sylvester has a trademark lisp. Do you know whom Sylvester's lisp is based on?
Leon Schlesinger, who used to be the producer of, and he actually owned the rights to the Warner Brothers cartoons initially. He had a lisp.
Wow. It's amazing they got away with that.
Yeah. He'd say things like, put a lot of purple in, guy. Purple is funny. Yeah, that's actually, I think.
Well, he's right. Purple is funny.
Yeah, I think it's Chuck Jones.
Out of all the callers, it's the most comedic.
It is funny.
Chartreuse is close.
All right, here's
Pan's
another.
not in the running.
Here's another question for Jeff. This character was a rather boisterous braggart who only appeared once in a Bugs Bunny cartoon after many successful years on his own. Who is it?
Only appeared in
one Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Oh, Foghorn Leghorn appeared in False Hair, which is the last Bugs
I don't
Bunny
have to look.
cartoon.
I know he's right.
Yeah.
But last Bugs Bunny cartoon released theatrically. False Hair, Robert McKimson.
It's like playing Sugar
1964.
Pursuit of
Yeah.
the Commodore 64.
1964. All right, here's another one. 1943 saw the debut of 3 of the following Bugs Bunny cartoons. Which of the following animated shorts premiered in 1953, 10 years after the others? Was it Jack Wabbit and the Beanstalk, Waikiki Wabbit,
Waikiki.
thank you, Super Wabbit, or Duck Rabbit Duck?
Duck Rabbit Duck appeared about 10 years later.
Okay, I got that one right as well.
You know I'm not actually keeping score, right?
I asked you to keep score.
We got 1. So, you know what I mean?
Wow.
I don't need to write that down.
This is really embarrassing that you're not doing your job. Okay, here's another question.
Strangely, not the only one to ever say that.
In Bunny Hugged, Bugs, as the masked terror, finds himself in a professional wrestling match against a
that's a great
huge,
episode.
brutish, over-muscled sort. Who was the wrestler that Bugs fought?
The Crusher. 1951, Bunny Hug. Chuck Jones directed it. Written by Michael Maltese. And I believe the person who provided that voice was John T. Smith. There was an actor named John T. Smith. And I'm pretty sure he provided the voice of the Crusher. But it definitely was called the Crusher.
Do you remember the kind of premise of it? Why Bugs Bunny became...
Yeah, he was the mascot for Ravishing Ronald.
Okay, that's what I wanted to see.
who was a take on Gorgeous George.
Yeah. Right.
And Ravishing Ronald pranced out
Yeah,
and
yeah,
got
yeah.
beat up in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's right.
And Bugs said, oh, brother, there goes me bread and butter. I better think of something.
Okay, moving on. What was the first cartoon that featured the prototype Bugs Bunny?
Oh, sorry, buddy.
The prototype in the sense of the
I guess
initial development.
Yeah.
It's from 1937 or 38. There's Porky's Hare Hunt.
That's the one.
That's
I'm going to give
Porky's
you
Hare Hunt,
That's
yeah.
Porky's Hare Hunt.
Wow.
Wow, okay. Here's another question. Tweety's owner is called Granny in the cartoons, but what is Granny's real name?
Oh, see, this is a name that I think came out after the studio was released.
Why would you bother naming it?
Well,
at that
maybe
point?
not, because there are some references from other cartoons. But anyway, try.
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. They say the answer is Emma Webster. Apparently, Yosemite Sam and Bugs call her Emma in one cartoon, right?
That is true. That would be Hair Trimmed, which came out in 1953.
I don't know.
Okay.
Directed by Friz Freleng, and you're right, they do both call her Emma.
Yeah.
And she's referred to as Mrs. Webster
Right.
in a cartoon from around 1965.
Yeah. So there you go, Emma
That's-
Webster.
So
I mean,
okay, I'll give whoever put that question together credit, and I will admit that I didn't get that correct, even though I do know the sources from whence they speak.
No, I would say you got that right, dude.
Okay.
you think
Yeah.
so?
Yeah. He got both the first name and the last
all right,
name, dude.
give it to him, whatever.
Emma Webster.
Okay, all right. These next, we've only got a few of these, and then we're done. We call this section Bugs Crazy, so it's all about Bugs Bunny. All right.
Okay, sounds good.
I think. Who knows? Bugs Bunny is widely considered to have made his debut in what Tex Avery Oscar-nominated film?
A Wild Hair,
In?
1940.
Okay. Bugs Bunny has appeared in more films than any other what?
Any other rabbit?
Lawyer?
He's appeared in about 163 cartoons, the original theater.
Stick to the question, Jeff.
So that's more than any other,
Rabbit.
or...
Oh,
I'm sorry. The answer we were looking for
More than any
was
other
cartoon
rabbit.
character.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You didn't get that
All
one.
right.
The second full-fledged role for the mature Bugs,
Yeah.
Chuck Jones Elmer's Pet Rabbit in 1941, is the first to use what? This is a really interesting question.
He does. It's not the first time you said "What's up, Doc?" because that was actually I think it's the first time you see his name in the cartoon.
You got it. You got
That's
it.
crazy,
Son
Jeff.
of a
Because a
gun.
wild hair,
Honestly, dude.
he's actually never referred to as Bugs Bunny.
That
in
is
a wild
ridiculous.
hair. So Elmer's Pet Rabbit's first time you see the name Bugs Bunny.
Okie doke. Hiawatha's Rabbit Hunt,
Yeah.
1941, directed by Friz Freleng, became the second Bugs Bunny cartoon to receive a what?
An Academy Award nomination.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Wild Hair and then Hiawatha's Rabbit Hunt. And then nothing for about 16 years, believe it or not.
16.
Seems odd.
Yeah.
All right, next question. What was Bugs' first film in the Looney Tunes series?
Okay, this is, so they're as opposed to Merry Melodies.
Yeah.
It has to be from around 1943. I'm going to say Hair Conditioned.
Okay, that's not the answer that they give.
I'm not saying that I know that for sure.
That's two. We got two, Norman.
Buckaroo Bugs is the answer.
Okay.
there.
Two.
Buckaroo
Wow.
Bugs.
Wow.
Because it used to be Merry Melodies.
Two.
Merry Melodies were in color. Looney
The
Tunes
Mets
were
have a
in white.
better record than we do. That's sad.
All right, let's see if he can up his game here.
All right.
In 1945, Bugs faces off against Hermann Goering and Hitler in what film?
From hair to air.
Close. I'm going to
close.
give that to you.
From hair to
No,
air.
you're not.
Yes, I am.
Dude, we gave him the one with the two names.
Hair meets hair.
He's
Hair
missing the
meets
word.
hair. You're right. You know what? I got that one incorrect. I got it sort of right, but let's say I got that one wrong.
Well, I think that's
Three.
pretty damn
it's
close. though.
hair meets hair. You're right.
All right. Here's another one. At the end of Super Rabbit in
I love
1943, Bugs appears wearing a what?
In the uniform of a U.S. Marine.
You're freaking me out, man.
Okay,
Honestly.
that's right.
Job
And
for a real Superman. 'cause
Our
you-
last question.
Okay.
This is. I hate that this is over. Although it was usually Porky Pig who brought the Looney Tunes film to a close with his stuttering, that's all, folks.
Yeah.
Bugs replaced him at the end of what two films?
He was in Baseball Bugs is one of them, and he says, and that's the end. And another one would be, I can't remember the other one. Baseball Bugs is definitely one of them, and I'm going to say Hair Conditioned again.
Oh, see, it was
very
hair,
close.
hair tonic.
Very close.
Hair tonic.
Yes.
So close,
So,
Jeff.
just to maybe close
Wow.
the segment, can we talk about what our favorite Bugs Bunny cartoon
Oh, we
was?
absolutely can, but I think first we need to chastise Jeff for not getting every single question
No, I just
right.
got like 97%.
I know, but Jeff, 97's not 100, dude.
No, it's not.
No, okay, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Jeff, you did a remarkable job.
I believe it was Confucius who actually first said 97 is not 100.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. It's not like we haven't been amazed by this individual's capacity to remember all of these animation facts, but now we're going to give Jeff the floor quickly, and Lou, feel free to jump in and jab him at any time.
There are a lot of amazing facts about Warner Brothers cartoons. We know that, but it's interesting that the vast majority of people who were voice actors for Warner Brothers, their last names began with B. There's some exceptions: Stan Freberg, June Foray, who we've mentioned. I mentioned John T. Smith. But listen to this. These
That is a bit weird.
all
Jim
these-
Backus, really?
Oh,
Well, yeah,
remember?
and I'll get to the Jim Backus in a second.
Connor Cheney, take a bomb.
But the following voice actors, the following people all did voices for Warner Brothers cartoons, and their last names began with B. They are Mel Blanc, of course, B. Benaderet, Dawes Butler, Billy Bletcher, Robert C. Bruce, Arthur Q. Bryan, the voice of Elmer Fudd, Dick Beals, Julie Bennett, Sarah Berner, Dave Barry, and even once Jim Backus, Aladdin His Lamp, 1948, Smokey the Genie. Of course, he was better known for doing the Mr. Magoo cartoons with you.
And he was Mr. Howell on Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's
And,
Island.
and also did a bunch of movies, yes.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I've left anybody else out, but that's an amazing list of
Bs.
Warner Brothers actors whose last name began with B.
So were they considered B actors then?
I guess they were B actors, especially B. Benaderet.
Surprised you didn't come up with that. I'm surprised that he did not come up with that.
To be clear, I didn't come up with that.
Just to be clear.
I feel pretty good about it.
That's all right.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought he meant bees. Like
No,
actual
no.
bees.
Well, any
That's
other,
the problem. Bees
any
coming
other-
here taking our
Okay,
acting
we'll get a few
gigs.
here.
Yeah, just some things that let's say
Well,
stupid people
quickly, that
wouldn't
Porky
know.
Pig was created because they want Leon Schlesinger, the producer, wanted sort of a cartoon version of the Our Gang comedies, or they became Little Rascals later on. So Porky was born of that group. There was Beans, so Porky and Beans. Beans was a cat. There was Ham and X, who were dogs. There was Kitty, who was obviously a kitty. Their teacher, I think, was Miss Cud, who was a cow.
Can I say something about the Little Rascals here? Here's what I never understood about the Little Rascals. All these kids are like Depression-era poor.
Yeah.
There's one where Spanky is spending his afternoon trying to kill a bug with a hammer. Right? That's how poor these kids are. Right. At the end of every episode, they somehow have built a fire truck and are putting on a full-scale Broadway show. And at the end of each one, as much as I love it, I'm like, go make a sandwich! What are you doing?
Something.
They did come up with money quite easily, especially given
I
there's
find
depression.
that so bizarre.
Yeah.
They're like, and here's my theory. One of those kids is MacGyver's dad. That's what I think. That's what I think.
You're
Seriously.
probably right, though.
They're like, we need to build a fire truck. What do we got? We got an old can, 16 boxes, and a golf ball. Somehow. Why are those kids not working? Is what I don't get. I am blown away, honestly, dude. Like when he had suggested doing this, I didn't realize the depth of your knowledge. Like
thank
that's if I am ever on Jeopardy, seriously, and there's like a cartoon section, I'm gonna be like, can I sub out for 2 minutes? Just
They
bring my
don't
buddy
give
in.
you a call home option on Jeopardy. It's you're there. I think it'd be best just to have Jeff go. And then maybe...
I want to go to
Oh,
Jeopardy.
well, you pay for his plane ticket, and then he splits the winnings with you. I think that's fair. So...
I like how we're talking about it like it's really going to happen.
Well, you never know. Anyway, these humans have come to an end of another season of the Meltdown.
Yay!
The show where you learn things and we get to bitch about stuff.
Yes. So it seems like it's a fair trade.
It is a fair trade. Right? And Lou, thank you for joining us for the last episode.
If I may say, I would like to thank you both for having me come out. It's been a great honor and privilege. I've had a blast with you guys.
Well,
and thank you for letting me do the... I'm still talking. Thank you for letting me do the...
What a piece of shit.
Wow. Thank you for letting me
Last
do
fucking
the...
time he's coming on this show. Lou will not be joining us for season 5. Sorry, Lou.
No, get rid of me. I know where Norm lives.
That's true, you do. Yeah.
Ready to record.
Yeah. Will you come back for another season?
Of course,
do you
but
think?
sincerely,
Yeah.
I'm honestly very very honored that you guys would ask me, and I enjoyed it immensely. It was super fun to hang out with
What
you
was
guys.
the deal with you doing all your Meltdown minutes on an airplane?
What? I'm confused. Why are they on an airplane?
Dumbass. Can we discuss this?
I don't remember us talking about it.
Instead of you being in a comedy club, we were going to put you on a fucking...
Oh, we did talk about this.
We did.
Because we were talking about putting different...
Yeah,
Oh,
different
right.
backgrounds.
I think I should be in a forest.
I even said
think
that
should be
you
one.
have a jet, the sound
Seriously,
of the jet.
all of the environments you would never see
now
stand up.
You answer the question.
I'm answering it now.
Just say no, you don't answer like a production person.
Oh.
I want you to say you're not giving away our secrets. You need to tell us. Well, Norm, I just thought it would be funny to entertain people in the air.
Here's the thing. I don't, and it would be. I don't, I didn't remember because we were talking about elevators. I was explaining to Norm that when I get on an elevator, I turn around and face everybody, and then I do a quick 2 minutes.
Does that have to
So
do
I'm just
with
like, what floor are you from? And rarely does it get a laugh. But to me, it's hilarious. So I've decided I'm going to go on tour doing stand-up in places that you never see stand-up. So like in a forest, because that would be... You don't remember the John Belushi bit when he's doing... Frontier comedian? He's like doing stand-up in front of chipmunks? Oh my God, it's hilarious.
Okay.
It's hilarious.
Okay, so the reason you were on an airplane this season was because you want to take your craft to different
That's right.
To new heights.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
Good.
That's right.
I'm glad we got that answer out of you.
Well, here's the... Check. I get the check.
We're done?
The lines?
I just want to say...
Now he's quoting again. The lines.
that you rarely see a movie turn into a successful TV show. That's it.
You're right.
That's all I want to say.
You're right.
Except for Bosom Buddies.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Oh,
What do you mean, Cousin Larry Appleton? How was that a show? How was that a show?
how was Check It Out a show?
Let's check it out.
It was Don Adams.
Yeah.
Was it a grocery store?
Yeah, he was a grocery store manager.
You're kidding me.
I'm not.
Stop it.
No, I'm
Stop
not
it.
kidding. I'm not
Oh,
kidding.
that
Yeah.
makes me so
kidding.
sad.
Yeah, that should never have been a show.
No.
Just makes you want to
Well,
watch Get Smart all the more.
Well, we had King of Kensington. We didn't need another...
That's true.
When he walks down the street, he smiles at everyone, everyone that he meets. Call him King of Kensington.
What up, King? Hey, King.
Hey, King! If you guys don't know what it is, you should check that out. That's some prime Canadian TV. Also, Edison Twins, while you're at it, you should check that out. And what else? What other cool TV shows?
Oh, man.
Magic Shadow, Dark Shadows. What was the...
Littlest Hobo?
Oh, Littlest Hobo.
Littlest?
Yeah.
You know what I don't get about the Littlest Hobo?
No.
He's a dog hobo. I don't understand that. First of all, can't use the word hobo anymore. So that's the first thing. Second of all, where is stick and kerchief at? Right? Also, third thing.
Are you from the hood? Where is stick and kerchief at?
I'm just saying, if you can call someone a hobo, then make him look like a hobo. That's all I'm saying. The third thing is, he doesn't have a hobo name. It's not like Thunderstruck Jones or something. You know what I mean? Because all hobos... I'm serious. If you Google hobo stuff, it is fascinating.
Pancake Larry. What's that? Because
hobo.
All his pillows in
my
the shape of pen.
Just real quick. He's a crime-solving dog. So Scooby-Doo before Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Right? Which not a lot of people realize.
Yeah.
And there's a scene in the Littlest Hobo where he gets to this house where somebody's kidnapped, and he's walking around the house, and they zoom in on the door handle, and then you see just two paws come in and turn the handle. It's the greatest Canadian moment of TV. Aside
Are
from,
you saying that Lassie never solved crimes?
I'm saying that Lassie,
Lassie
was a
solved
communist
crimes. Well,
and a racist.
really?
You know what I don't get about Lassie? Tim is in the well every week.
Yeah. Well,
Where's Timmy at? He's in the well.
Timmy's stupid.
Board up the well. Because I tell you,
They needed water
did you
every
see
day.
the episode where like 6 episodes in, Lassie's like, I don't know what his fucking problem is. I gotta get him again?
Yeah.
In dog language, he's saying that. That's right.
Pointing with
She's
his,
making this. She was rolling her eyes. Oh my god.
and his dog thumb is
There's
pointing.
something wrong with your child. We need a theme song, dude.
We need to say goodbye.
Oh,
we need to
right.
cut
We've been
this
talking.
off. We've been talking and talking.
Listen,
So,
folks.
Until next season, then. It's the three of us saying to the three of you watching.
The 3 of you watching. Look.
Until what?
Nothing.
Until next
Bye.
season.
Thank you so much. We'll
Thank
see you next
you,
season.
and goodbye.
Bye.